Tesla full self-driving is set to get new awesome features in the near future. CEO Elon Musk confirmed it on X. Full self-driving is the company's semi-autonomous driving program, which is among the best available to the general public. It is still relies on the driver to ultimately remain in control and pay attention, but it truly does make traveling less stressful and a lot easier. However, Tesla still continues to refine the software through over-the-air updates, which are meant to resolve shortcomings in the performance of the FSD suits. Generally, Tesla does a great job of this, but some updates are definitely regressing, at least with some of the features. Tesla and Musk are always trying to improve the suit performance by fixing features that are presently available, but they also try to add new things that will be beneficial to the owners. One of those things, which is coming, giving the driver the ability to prompt FSD with voice demands. For example, asking the car to park close to the front door of your destination or further away an empty portion of the parking lot. And will be extremely beneficial feature. Adjusting navigation is possible through Grok integration, but it is not always effective. Musk confirmed that voice prompt for FSD will be possible, and he tweeted on X that it is coming. It's very very helpful. Like if you have kids or something, and or if you have a really nice expensive Cybertruck, you want to park away from like a parking lot or something, this will be great because you're literally like talking to a human right now. Tesla full self-driving is really great thing, but it definitely is shortcoming. Navigation is among the biggest complaints that owners have, and it's easily my biggest frustration with using it. Some of its route choose to take it are truly mind-boggling. I definitely have like really like a lot of frustrations because sometimes FSD just take the wrong route and adds like 5 or 10 minutes in the route that the FSD sort of took that usually is a lot shorter, but just always decide to take the longer route. Another thing is it has issues with being situated in the correct lane or confusing intersections or even managing to properly navigate through local traffic signs. For example, in Pennsylvania, there are a lot of stop signs with except right turn signs directly under. This gives those turning rights at a stop sign the opportunity to travel through it. FSD has had issues with this on several occasions. Parking preference will be highly beneficial and something that could be resolved with this voice prompt program. Grocery stores are full of cars not taken back by customers, and many people choose to park far away. Advertising FSD of this preference will be great advantage to the owners. Definitely will be using that a lot, and I've been using Guac too. Like they also have the feature where you can kind of translate. I talk in Chinese and translate it into English. So like my father not only speak English, and then my parents are Chinese. They can literally talk to each other and using Grok. My parents will speak in Chinese and they translate it into English for my father-in-laws. An official statement released by DMV on Tuesday, the DMV confirms that Tesla has dropped the autopilot term for the advanced driver system. By doing so, the automaker has to avoid having its dealers and manufacturer license suspended by the DMV for 30 days, the agency said in the statement. DMV Director Steve Golden hailed the decision, saying that the department DMV is pleased that Tesla took the required action to remain compliant with the California Consumer Protection Law. Well, the news for this background is like it comes from the DMV filing a lawsuit against the automaker at the court in California back in July of last year, seeking a 30-day suspension of the Tesla sale and manufacturing activity in the state after it had launched a probe into the company in 2021. The agency alleged that Tesla had misled consumers about the capability of autopilot and full self-driving system. The agency, in the official inquiry in 2022, asked Tesla to respond to creating incorrect perceptions about the system. While the court had ruled the DMV favor, the agency stayed any suspension, instead giving the automaker 90 days to adopt the necessary changes. Why is the California a bit worried about the word autopilot? Well, Tesla has also caught under fire after it reported 5 additional crashes of robotaxi in Austin, Texas last month, taking the total reported incident involving its cab to 14 so far. Investor Ross Gerber of the Gerber's Kawasaki raised questions about the FSD system, suggesting that the Elon Musk-led company should adopt hardware changes. He just wants kind of LiDAR stuff, but Elon Musk, he wants the camera. A Tesla owner also flagged multiple instances of the company FSD system driving into a boat ramp on lake, almost driving into lake before the owner intervened. The owner said the video footage of the incident, which has sparked concerns about the capability of the system. So, FSD, even though it's really easy and great to use, but it can definitely cause you some problems. So you definitely want to pay attention when you drive it, and don't want to like think that this will be like the level 4 or level 5 where you just sit there and let the car drive itself. This is not the case. Gotta be really, really careful. And I also think like you can't just pick Tesla about like having problems or accidents. Look at Waymo. Waymo have in way more cities and have way more problems too. Just like every car, new technology, it takes some time to kind of figure some of the things out. And hopefully Tesla will figure things out. Leave in the comment section below what is your experience using the Tesla FSD. Social media most influential tech reviewer said Tesla keeps leaving him on read. Marcus Brownie, better known as NKVHD, to his 20 million followers YouTube subscriber, said that he had to take a trip to a nearby car dealership to source his own Tesla Model Y performance for a January review. Tesla stopped talking to me, Brownie said in the recent TikTok film as he picked up the SUV from New Jersey dealership Georgia Saliba. It is not cause I give them a negative review, end quote. Automakers typically offer loan cars to influencer journalism for week-long test drive, and Tesla supplied Brownie with delivery vehicles in the past. In 2022, he called the Model S Plaid the best overall car of the last decade, end quote, after a review. The TikTok clip is the latest sign that the relationship has a bit of like cool down. In 2023, Brownie spoke out after the Cybertruck delivery event. The pickup, which Musk initially said will have 500-mile range and a starting price of under $40,000, launched with just over 300-mile range and a sticker price of $70,000. But now it had a recent price drop of $59,999, so it's $60,000. Brownie said Tesla's review was straight up not delivering it on its promises. He still took delivery of the new car but sold the Cybertruck after 8 months. And it replaced it with Rivian R1T, a rival electric pickup truck. And in September 2025, Brownie publicly canceled his $50,000 deposit for 2 long-awaited Tesla Roadster. Quote, Tesla has been sitting with my 50 grand for 8 years and haven't done anything with it, obviously, he said on his Waveform podcast. Tesla then responded to a request for commenting from Business Insider. So, why is like Brownie not like Tesla might be destined from KBHD? If you remember, in 2024 he picked up Fisker Olsen from the same dealership and called it the worst car I ever reviewed, setting out a PR firestorm from Fisker. The automaker pushed back on the review, saying he had driven the car just before an expensive software update. Fisker filed for bankruptcy 3 months later. Brownie have said things that is not great, like saying that the $30,000 Cybercab is not gonna happen. If it happens, he gonna save his head, and then also he just tired of waiting for the Cyber Roadster, right? And yeah, so Tesla was like, man, I don't want to have negative press where it's Marquez have just huge influence on the community. And they definitely didn't want to have any negative, like Tesla didn't want to have any negative press on them to affect sales, because look at Fisker, they went bankrupt. Because here's a pretty exciting news: the Federal Communication Commission has granted Elon Musk-led Tesla a waiver to use ultra wideband technology to offer wireless EV charging on the upcoming Cybercab. In the official filing on Wednesday, the agency said that it was granted the automaker a waiver of Section 15.598 and 15.59 A2 of the agency guideline on UVB devices. Quote, we found there is a good cause to grant Tesla requests, the agency said in the founding. Section 15.59A outlines the UWB device must be handheld, while under Section 15.59A2, the FCC said that antennas mounted on the outside of the building or on a telephone pole or any fixed outdoor infrastructure is prohibited. The FCC and the founding mentioned that Tesla technology was being granted the waiver as it is operated only for a short duration and was on low power. The agency also said that the system will not interfere with other systems. The UWB radio will help determine the position of the vehicle, and it would only enable wireless charging, so the position of the vehicle on the road be the correct one. Quote, we concluded that Tesla has adequately demonstrated that its product will not undermine the purpose of the rule, as it was not created the type of the wide area communication, and the founding said. The company wireless charging apparatus will utilize an induction charging system via a floor mount charging pad, which use an electronic coil to charge the vehicle. That will also have an electronic magnetic coil once it is placed on top of it, much like a wireless phone charger, which transfer power by generating an alternating electromagnetic field. The waiver from the FCC could help Tesla overcome a major obstacle for wireless charging, which is the correct placement of the coil related to one another to induce power transfer. UWB radio could help the vehicle navigate and position itself correctly on top of the charging pad. The news comes as Tesla recently revealed its production-ready version of the Cybercab, which Elon Musk reaffirmed it will be available for customers at $30,000 price tag. Tesla is targeting a production run for the vehicle in April of this year. Crazy. I am very excited. The company also said that the supervised full self-driving system has over 8.2 billion miles, with 3 billion of these miles driving in city conditions. So they have the largest data. So I feel like they have the best chance to be successful in full self-driving. This is one of the major hurdles that Tesla want to figure out, because if you have a full self-driving, you want the car to figure out how to park itself in the parking lot, right, and then to charge itself. But if you cannot figure that out, you gotta send someone to plug in. That costs money, right? So it's way to automate the whole journey, the whole process, from picking up a customer, driving the car, cleaning the car, and charging the car. Roll off production line at Getga, Texas on February the 18th. And it is more than just simple manufacturing milestone for the company. It is the opening salvo in the profound economic transformation. Priced at under $30,000, the volume production slated for April. The steering wheel-free, pedal-less, robotaxi geared vehicle promised to make personal car ownership optional for many, slashing transportation costs as little as 20 cents per mile through shared fleets and high utilization. While that's called unprecedented mobility abundance, cheaper rides reduce congestion, feed up urban space, and massive environmental gains, meaning that you can literally get rid of the parking lots and make it turn into parks when you can walk around, enjoy the fresh air. Parking lot takes massive amount of space. It is risky massive job displacement in ride hailing, taxi service, and related sectors, forcing society to confront whether the benefit of AI driving autonomy will outweigh the human cost. So this is kind of like a good question to ask, because you're definitely killing the Lyft, the Uber people that drive around, and now, but also at the same time, you're decreasing the cost of transportation. Let's examine the positive and negative of what Cybercab could mean for passengers, transportation, and vehicle ownership as we know it. Tesla has geared every portion of the Cybercab to be cheaper and more efficient, even though it's designed a compact two-seater optimized for fleet and ride-sharing. The development of the inductive charging, around 300 miles of range on a small battery, half of this part of the Model 3, and revolutionary on-box manufacturing is all geared toward rapid production. Operating at a fraction of what today's ride-share prices are, the Cybercab enables on-demand autonomous for a variety of people and a variety of situations. It could also be the way people escape expensive, risky car ownership. Buying a vehicle requires expensive monthly maintenance, including insurance and payment uh, finance. It is also immediately depreciative. It doesn't appreciate like a house, so that's a big cost because a lot of people are not monthly pays about like $80 or $200 per month on insurance plus gas plus um, plus maintenance. Like it adds up a lot. However, like Cybercab could unlock potential of probability for owning a car by adding it to the robo taxi network. So you could still own a car, but the car will make you money. Enabling a passive income. Cities could also have parking lot repurposed into parks and houses. Emission will drop as say electric vehicle will outnumber gas cars in time. That would be a great feature to think about. Just imagine when you step in the road, the vehicles are very, very quiet. With robo-taxi and cybercab, they represent the same negative as broadening AI. There is a direct threat to the economy. Uber, Lyft, and traditional taxi will rely on human drivers. Robo-taxi will eliminate that labor cost, potentially displacing millions of jobs globally. In the US alone, ride-hailing accounts for billions of miles of travel each year. There is also potential ripple effects as supplier, mechanic, instrument adjusters, and even public transit could see reduced demand as say autonomy grows. Past automation waves saw job creation lag behind destruction, especially for lower skill workers. Gig workers like those who are seeking flexible income face the burn of this. Displaced drivers may struggle to restrain amid broader AI job shift as 2025 estimate bring between 50 to 300,000 laid off tied to artificial intelligence. So, full self driving is definitely have a huge effect on the economy. Like if you think about it, like because there's no Uber drivers, there's no Lyft drivers, and you don't. But at the same time, I feel like personally, you get more benefit. The benefit outweigh the the kind of the consequence because you don't have to own it's not required to own a car anymore. A car is very expensive. You have to pay $30,000. You can use that to buy a house, like put down a payment of a house, and you have home ownership that appreciate the asset instead of depreciating. Right, that's my thought. And at the same time, you can go anywhere for affordability. Like technically, you don't even need to like fly anymore. If you want to go from Arkansas to Texas, just order a Cybercab and it's very very cheap, 2% per mile, right? If it's 300 miles, it don't even cost that much, like maybe 60 bucks or something. So very affordable. So I'm excited for the future. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about this. And yeah, this is the end of the video. My name is Kel, and I see you guys next one.